This is our podcast content that we like to give to you guys as often as we can. I am your host, JP, alongside my co host,
Yo, 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 M Sizzle.
yours truly. And today we're going to start off with the NCAA championship. The boys came through. I threw the house on them. They came through. I bet everything I had and won with it. It was awesome. It was a great game. UConn came in and played their hearts out. Uh, but Michigan just dominated. They whatever different style of ball that UConn tried to throw at them, Michigan was there to meet them, and they hit them with the full court press, and it dismantled them. It just took them out of their play. They weren't able to set up shots, and when they were shooting, they weren't hitting them, which was kind of off for UConn. But Michigan came in, everybody stepped up. Um, Mara, the big tall center, man, he was a monster. He caught some badass layups. He blocked some insane shots. Had a couple. I think he only had one goaltending, which it was debatable, but he's just a big dude, 7'2", just a tall monster in the middle, and it really did. It came down to size. That was something I talked about going into the Final Four there against what's some faces that we don't talk about no more because they home Arizona. But we just had more size. I mean, everybody was 6'8", 6'9". I mean, the short guy Cadeau. I mean, he plays like a big guy. He's so good. It just I don't know. It's hard to say that there was a weak point in Michigan's play at all, and they dominated. They won the game. I went home with some extra cheddar. That was nice. Thanks DraftKings for hooking your boy up. Uh, Yeah, and it looks like they're keeping some of their main guys back. A couple of them were seniors, so they're going to be in the draft. So it'll be exciting to see where they go as far as the NBA draft goes. If we end up getting Lindenberg on the Pistons after we win the championship this year, I think Michigan's set for a while. We're going to do good. Hopefully your boys end up recuperating. Hopefully we see them in the playoffs again next year. And I don't know, Izzo seemed like he was on his last straw. He seemed pretty distraught.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, I believe on the last podcast.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got to yeah, Michigan just looked really unstoppable this season. I really hates me to my core to say that. But yeah, they want it. Give them their flowers. Okay, yep. Hopefully, just like JP said, hopefully State can make a comeback. But I really think they need to start looking elsewhere for a more motivated coaching staff.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Uh
Yeah, can't rule that out, man. Can't.
Michigan, if I was Michigan, I would not change a thing. But obviously the players that are going to the NBA are going, and you gotta, seniors are moving on and whatnot. But
Yeah.
Michigan seems like they have a really good coaching staff, and that's what brought them the
Oh yeah.
that's what
Absolutely.
brought it home for them. So yeah, I mean, I think now all the colleges are gonna actually, look at Michigan with nerves and like, hey, Michigan's gonna be known as a tough team now.
Right.
You're not just gonna walk right in no more and
Hmm.
and and, and go right by them, So yeah, a lot of other teams, a lot of colleges are gonna be like, oh man, we got Michigan on the schedule. Hope we got our A game ready, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, no. Let's kick into the NFL draft. We got up to the Los Angeles Rams. We're gonna go ahead and kick it off at number 14 with the Baltimore Ravens. They are projected to take tight end Kenyon Sadiq. He is by far the best tight end going into this draft. I would be, you know, pretty crazy to think that any other tight ends there's only one tight end and only one running back going in the first round. That's how defensive and offensive line heavy this first round is going to be. Yeah, I think he will be a perfect pickup for them. Give Lamar another weapon. I think Mark Andrews is still there, but they gave up Isaiah Likely. He ended up going to another team. So yeah,
I think he went to Kansas City, didn't he?
I'll have to double check here. Let's see.
I oh man, I want to say he did, but or
He's a
maybe
Giants.
the pack. Oh, okay. Wow, I was way off. Jeez.
So I mean that's good for the Giants, but yeah, no, the Ravens definitely need a tight end that's younger. Mark Andrews is a definite. He needs a Super Bowl ring to get himself into the Hall of Fame, but he's been somebody that if you didn't take him on fantasy, you would be kind of crazy, man, because he's always solid. He's always open. He's always, he's a big body, so he's always got that wide wingspan to kind of catch anything thrown his way. And he might not burst anybody down the field for, yardage, but man, he'll push and knock people over to get that. So, having that speedster Kenyon Sadiq, I think is definitely gonna bolster their offense. They're already a monster as far as their rush game goes because they got Derrick Henry and Lamar, two super great running athletes that can definitely get the ball down the field however you need them to do it, as long as they can hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Ooh, burn. Sorry.
Uh
Sorry, Raven fans. Speaking the truth here.
yeah.
JP is he's spitting fire.
Oh. So yeah, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, any thoughts on the
No.
Ravens?
Nah, just I don't foresee them having a winning season this year. Even though they have a lot of weapons, JP, they do. They just I just from like sitting, watching the TV screen on Sundays, it just seems like they overwork Lamar Jackson to where mid-season when they really need him, hamstring or something, he's out, he's injured, because he's constantly running,
Mm-hmm.
So if he can learn to like throw the ball, because he's got a hell of an arm, and they can make something. But as just what we've seen over the years with the Ravens, granted they got a new coach, they're gonna shake some things up, but I don't think it's gonna be on the winning end for them. So Ravens are the Ravens. That's my input on them.
Okay, okay. Let's not knock the cookie jar over there, Ma. Let's get to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is the team that absolutely shocked me with how much they fell off. I mean, granted, they had
Me
some
too.
they had some really crazy injuries with like Mike Evans going down and stuff like that.
hmm
So you can kind of explain it when you kind of look at the books, but
I
it
just
just
don't get how they tanked so bad.
yeah. I mean, especially for the teams in their division. I mean, they made the other teams in their division look pretty decent. I mean, the Panthers and the Saints were fighting for. I mean, not the Saints to get in, but they were. The Panthers
Yeah.
needed to win that last game in order to get in, and so it's crazy to think that the Panthers were the number one team in their division. Like I would have never guessed that going in. I mean, I wouldn't say they're last. I would have said the Saints were, but seeing them go over like that just blew my mind, man. Uh, what's his face or but
Baker.
yeah, Baker. Yep, go ahead.
Baker, man, what happened to him mid-season towards the end? Like when he really needed to shine, he he threw it to the opposite team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he had a rough year. I mean, it
Rough.
never felt like he ever got momentum going in any of his games. He
No,
was fighting for his
nothing.
life.
I don't know, man. What's your input on Tampa Bay?
Oh, no, that
We-
that that was kind of where I was leading. I mean, just one of the biggest fall offs that really just shocked me. As far as the mock draft goes, it has them taking Jamad McCoy, corner from Tennessee. I think that's a good place to start for them. I mean, I would have liked to see them do a little bit something different on offense as far as the draft goes, but getting
Well,
the number.
I'm sure they're going to. I mean, they're going to take what they can get at this point, but
Yeah, you're
they're
halfway
going to
through
be
the draft.
smart. I think Tampa Bay is going to come in low key under the radar. Whatever they get, it's going to be guys that are unnamed. I mean, in the draft, but obviously low key guys that are going to be the stars, I think, of this draft. So I think Tampa Bay is going to do it smart and work with what they have,
Hmm.
you know. So I think they're going to come in under the radar and blow a lot of fans or a lot of people away by
Oh,
coming in and winning.
that's right. Like Poino just said in the chat, Godwin also was out. I forgot, didn't hear him at all this season. So it was really up to Amika and Buka to kind of carry that down.
I
Yeah,
like
no,
their I like their playbook though. I
no,
mean,
for
it's a
sure.
lot of opportunities to if a guy goes down, they can make it work because they have Baker can scramble and he's got a hell of an arm and he's again he's low key like underrated Baker. So
Oh yeah, Poino. We definitely come up with nicknames for people that have difficult names to announce.
oh
Like
yeah
like MC
yeah
for the
yeah
longest time was Pukanuka.
yeah
Yeah, that was
yeah
great.
yep.
Yeah.
We'll have more this season. Trust me.
Jackson Smith Najigba, you got to be careful with that one. You can go in a slippery slope with that name. You got to be careful. Gets you tongue tied, and you're like, "No, I'm not even trying to."
JP, what do we got on this parlay this week?
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Now we got the Jets' second pick. They got this pick from the Indiana Colts when they gave up Sauce Gardner. Crazy move. That one honestly shocked me the most. As far as a midseason trade, blew my mind, and I
He
feel
made
bad.
out good on that one.
Yeah, no, they did because I mean he ended up getting over there and getting hurt pretty much immediately. Daniel Jones going down really tanked their
Hmm.
season. I mean they came out swinging 8-1, and then they
Yes,
ended up
sir.
losing the last eight in a row. So
Hmm.
feel
It
bad
seems
for him.
like, yeah, I do feel bad.
But as far as the Jets go, I'm not looking for them to flip their season around immediately. They brought Geno Smith back to be their quarterback, which isn't going to help them much. They got weapons
No.
on offense. They got weapons on defense. It's just building around them. And with that, they're taking Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver from Indiana. Great pick. He was Mendoza's number one wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think he would pair really well with Garrett Wilson, the wide receiver they drafted 4 years ago from Ohio State. I think it's a great pick. Unfortunately, they just don't have a quarterback, and that's where they're going to suffer. Running game is
Unfortunately.
solid. Yeah, unfortunately. Poor Aaron Glenn. I bet you he's wishing he was still in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knew what he was signing up for. So, yeah, like I said, it seems like we always talk about the Jets. You want to know why? Because they stink. So they're gonna have quite a few picks right off the gate, obviously. But yeah, there's just no hope for the Jets, man. Not anytime soon. So
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say it in the nicest way possible. Yours truly, M Sizzle, and I'm gonna leave it at that, JP.
All right. Moving on to a team that we pour our hearts out to. At number 17, we have the Detroit Lions.
Who?
The Detroit Lions, baby.
Let me say that again. Who?
Detroit.
Right, baby.
They're taking a Samoan brother, Olava Vega Oine.
La 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 la.
Yep.
Let's take him. He
He,
sounds like he's ready to be a Detroiter.
he's a big monster, 6'4", 320-pounder from Penn State. He's a guard. Um,
Ooh, we need that.
Obviously the Lions are a team I focus a lot of my energy on, and there's 3 picks. If we end up not moving, because Professor thinks that we might get a little risky in this draft and maybe try to do something and move up to try to get inside the 10 there and pick one of those guys.
What
But
is Professor's cooking up something? Is he
oh yeah,
talking
well
to?
I'll have Professor come out here and cook. I'll tell you
All right.
his some cookerage because he explained it to me and I okayed it for the channel.
Okay. All right.
uh, they're it's the Lions, man. They're a team that's solid everywhere, but we just need one more to pair up in one of those positions. Our wide receiver core is sick. Laporta's awesome. If we got us, we're gonna need a backup one, so I could see us taking one in the second or third. Our running game is awesome, and it stayed awesome because we switched Montgomery for Pacheco. Pacheco's won a Super Bowl. He knows. Come on.
But
Yeah.
who's going to the is is Penny going to the left side to replace excuse me. Uh no blocker Decker?
I mean, that's kind of been everybody's. Yeah, and Tesla's up and coming. Yeah, this wide receiver core is sick. I love our wide receiver core. But that's been the hypothesis from a couple of different sources. They've suggested that they will move Penne over to the left side
Because
because
originally he was a left side guy, wasn't he? Penny Stool? Like,
he's everything. When he was in college, he played all positions. It was wherever they were kind of doing stuff, they would move him around.
gotcha.
That
Okay.
he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's so versatile.
All
But
right.
yeah, no, the census was they would move him to left because we we brought in the right tackle from Miami, the Borum. He's a big dude. He's solid. He's a good right tackle. And then we got the center and that Cade Mays. He's gonna be awesome. All him
Yeah.
and Goff just need to get on the same page. And then obviously we drafted Rutledge last year in the second round to be our guard. It would be up to everybody else to fight over for that left spot. And if we ended up drafting this dude, our line would be just perfect. In the sense that everybody would be signed for at least 2 to 3 years, so you wouldn't have to worry about them, having one guy for a year, then next year getting a new guy. They would be able to develop that chemistry and like, hey, this is what we did last year. We're gonna work out in the off season together, and we're gonna get this better, kind of a thing. You have capability now that you sign him.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
yeah, no,
I get that, but I have an issue before you get going any further, all right? Ratledge, he's not the guy, bro. I know like you're gonna disagree, but he could not block, dude. He you gotta go watch film. We gotta replace him. He's just not cut out. Too slow, man. He gets beat on the defensive moves all the time. And golf, he panics and he gets sacked.
mm,
But that's my only disagreement with you there. I just say Ratledge is not the guy.
oh,
But we could build around that if we get something in the draft.
absolutely. Oh, and like Poyner was saying, we lost Anzalone, but we also ended up, as far as defensive guys go, we've uh, we've retained all of our solid players. We brought Rocky Sin back. We have DJ Reed still. Um, McCrary's coming back. Or we're getting McCrary from the Rams. We got an outside linebacker from the Texans. So it'll be him, but remember, we still have Barnes. So if we go to a 2 linebacker set, that's not crazy. We could even do a 1 linebacker set with just Campbell, and with all the extra DBs we'll have, especially if everybody's healthy, because Rakestraw didn't get to play last year.
Yeah,
Oh
key
yeah,
word, healthy though. Like
yeah.
I
No, we had,
don't foresee Campbell being healthy the whole season, just the way he plays, bro. Like he
he's a
plays
monster, but
hard.
yeah, but he's built solid. He's an Iowa linebacker. He don't get hurt.
I know, but but I am glad Anzalone is gone. I am so glad. You have no idea, JP.
So
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, you see me on Sundays. The guy has calling it, dude. He has to go. So yeah, hallelujah, he's gone.
But yeah,
But
no, but we got Barnes, and then we also for defensive ends. This is why I don't think we're gonna make a move, but Professor will tell you otherwise.
okay,
We brought in Peyton Turner, who was a first-round pick at defensive end for the Saints like 4 or 5 years ago, and then we also brought in the DJ Wanham from the Panthers, who was just in the playoffs as their starting defensive end. So
I like it.
yeah,
I like
and
that
then
for sure.
obviously all of our defensive tackles are the same. We'll have McNeil. We'll have I think Anzarike. We'll have DJ Reader, and then the rookie that we got last year, that Tyleek Williams. So defensive, we could switch to the single linebacker and use 3 tackles and 2 ends.
Okay.
Lots of possibilities there.
And also, I
But
did hear through the grapevine that Dan Campbell is going to play starters in the preseason. I did hear that. I'm not sure if it's accurate,
okay,
but
can you tell Dad I need him?
I'm
Can you tell
throwing that
Grandpa I
out
need him?
there. I think, and I did hear or see an article that something about they're saying how maybe Dan was just too hard on practices. That's why we had a lot of injuries. But I don't buy that. I just think that a lot of guys weren't in shape.
Hmm.
But I think it's a fantastic idea to why not play the first quarter or something with these starters? You gotta get the get the rhythm going for your offense. Get the vibes going and feel everything out. So
Yep, yep.
I like it.
All right, so we're gonna pause our draft analysis right there, so we got more to talk about going up into next Thursday's draft. Professor, we just got done talking about the Lions, and this is the most common consensus is us getting this guard if we don't make any moves. But like I told MC, you have a concoct idea about us moving up and doing stuff in the draft, so I figured we'll let you explain that to MC and the fans.
Here's the one thing makes sense to me because they made all these picks. They picked up a bunch of number twos, no real devastating number ones. They're going to have to find one to fill that position. But I believe what they're positioning themselves to do is take that first pick, which they got at 17, and maybe trade it up to maybe even number 7, number 8. Washington, they're in such need that if they give them say they don't have a second round pick, right? Okay,
No,
so if
I
we
don't
we
think so.
so no, I think we got a 3 and 2 fours or something like that. If we were to switch places, give them some compensation, but you'd have to get rid of our tight end. He's the only one of value, and switch places with probably Washington or something like that, and go after one of the premier edge rushers. Now, there's still going to be one edge rusher probably available there, and he's really good. What was that guy's name that we were looking at the other day? Uh,
I have no idea, Professor.
uh, yeah, Reuben Baines. Yeah, that's him. Because
Okay.
the first two corners will probably be gone by 4 and 5. Defensive end, yeah. So if we could get Ruben Baines, that would, with this just recent, what's that guy? We just picked up another lineman that's going to make us strong. Yeah, Turner's going to be pretty strong. He's probably going to be the starter, but we got to show up the other end. You got to have another power guy to take the pressure off Hutch, so he doesn't get double and triple teamed all the time.
Right. That's what we've been saying.
So the only thing that makes sense where they can make that kind of move is they're going to have to get up probably earlier than a 12, 11 or 12 pick, because I don't think Ruben Baines, is going to be available after that. Washington, they need so much help that if they were switched around, they could get a Laporta and also a second rounder. For them, that would be an upgrade for their team.
Yeah.
And they'd still have the number one pick back at our pick at 17. So that makes sense and I got to believe that that's something they got to have in their mind right now, because and the only reason I say Laporta is Laporta's a extremely good tight end, and he's the only one of value we could afford to give up.
Yeah, but I do not think we're gonna get rid of Laporta. Well, who knows
Well,
at this point.
we got a shot at a number 7 or 8 pick and can get Baines. It's Laporta would be a kind of a easy sacrifice. Then we just have to go tight end hunting. We got two guys in the back. They're not as good as Laporta, but they might be able to fill the role.
Yeah, I like where you're going with it, but man, I just don't foresee Laporta going anywhere. Because they're gonna want a real boatload of money probably for him,
Oh
So
yeah, but what's the money difference between a 17 pick and a number 7 pick?
right, yeah, yeah. See, that's why I'm not writing the checks, Professor.
Yeah, I'd like to have just one of those checks.
Yeah,
One.
just one, baby, just one.
So yeah, it's pretty it's interesting. I don't see any other moves they got right now. There's nobody available. They can't afford Max Crosby. Uh they'd have to give up
Yeah.
too much. But
Yeah, see, yeah, you're pointing out a really good point of view here, Professor. I didn't really look at it like that. So yeah, who do they have
yeah,
besides Laporta? I mean,
well, yeah,
oh,
that has went out and made some kind of a name for himself. You know, they couldn't give up Branch or what's his face because they're both hurt. It's hard to trade. You can trade a Max Crosby when he's hurt because he's Max Crosby. You know,
yeah,
and the really other than these three edge rushers or whatever you think that's going to go in the top 10. They're the only ones that would be in, say, Max Crosby's type of league. And you got to remember, they're 21, 22, the brand new kids. For if they prove to be that good for 3 or 4 years, you're going to have a defensive line that's going to be unmatched in the NFL. So,
yep,
and then say you got him. We know everybody on our defensive line right now is signed. I mean, Hutch is there for the long haul. Branch,
yep.
uh,
Excuse me.
huh? We
Oh,
haven't
I
signed
just
Branch. Yeah, well, he's still on rookie career, but you could get another rookie, and he comes out and does the same type of performance that we got from Hutch. I
mm-hmm.
mean, for the next 4 years, your corners are locked in. I mean, and those are really important positions, defensive end
Yes, sir.
or edge rushers or whatever you want to call them. They kind of like the same guy.
Right. They're just not corners.
Yeah, edges. Yep. So, and that gives a break on your corners.
Right.
And a good pass rush gets the ball out there early. But yeah, there's a little bit of professor's wisdom showing you guys his mythical trade that's gonna possibly happen next Thursday.
Man, he pointed out a real fantastic view that I did not even think about.
Yeah.
Because realistically, we have who do we have that we could possibly get, big money for or
Yeah, no,
great,
he's really the only expendable one because
right,
everybody else you can't get rid of. You can't get rid of
right.
Gears. You can't get rid of
Nope.
Hutch. You can't get you need
No.
Sewell. You
And
need
plus we're supposed to sign him, give him a big payday, right? Last year or
this
this year?
year. This year. But yeah,
And he
no.
got hurt.
We
So
like to thank everybody for coming in and checking us out. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next episode of the Pre-Bet Show.
free bet.
Pre-Bet.